if you're just like, just give me 2%, I don't really care if it's bored in or if it's, Daisy Queen or whatever it is. We'll just say pick for me, and you'll just get the 2% milk. That's the best at whatever the store is. But then for other things, you really do have a preference when it comes to what type of soda you like, or what type of chips that you like, or what type of cereal you're going to go after. And that's where Stretch gets smart every time that you use it to understand and kind of build your digital pantry, so that when we uncover or discover that there's something on sale that is typically in your pantry, in the future, we're going to be able to let you know that item or those items are on sale. And so continuing to not just be a reactive, but start to be a proactive partner for you in your grocery shopping. And that's where the personalization gets really fun. And it really builds that trust with the shoppers.
No, I agree. And I understand that New York City is not the target market definitely to start with, given that there's just a lot of like bodegas and delis and small grocery shops. Like there's not a Walmart superstore and a Costco, and there's a couple Aldis, but they're quite spread around, and they're not near me, unfortunately. I'd love to be near an Aldi, but I agree with you. And I like the personalization aspect of the app, and it's step one where you're able to personalize the app to the user, build a digital pantry, and provide that transparency. What do you think is the next step? You talked about your update and just providing additional value to the user. Where do you see Stretch going?
Yeah. So I think that when it's all said and done, Stretch exists to provide agency and choice. And being able to work with retailers, be able to work with brands, be able to work with delivery companies are all things that are on our roadmap. We've actually already had some incredible conversations with some of the top grocery stores and a few really, really exciting brands that I'm excited to announce partnerships with, hopefully in Q1.
Mm-hmm.
And when we think about what Stretch ultimately exists to do is, every time you think about going to the grocery store, we want you to open Stretch, right? Because the list building experience is something that takes place over the course of 3 or 4 days, right? You're adding things to your list, adding things to your list, adding things to your list, and they're like, all right, it's time to go to the store. The go to the store part, you click get recommendation, and it gives you your choices. This is what's closest to you. This is what's cheapest, and this is who can deliver it to you the fastest, right? Ultimately, that's the state, and you're going to make that decision based on what your priorities are that day, right? You might be in a rush. You might be having people coming over. You might have a full day and you just don't have time to get to the store, and you're willing to pay the premium to have it delivered. But you're going to know what that premium is, and you're going to be able to make a decision accordingly. You may say, hey, you know what? Like I've got some time today. Like the kids are at school. The spouse is on a work trip. I'm going to drive a little bit further to save $50. No problem. But ultimately, that's where we want Stretch to be, is kind of like in a perfect world, in my dream of all dreams. Stretch is a lock screen app, right? That every time you think about the grocery, adding something to your grocery list, which most people do, like as I said, over the course of 3 or 4 days as they're planning their trip, you open it quickly, add it to the list, close it. Open quickly, add it to the list, close it. We're working on partnerships or platform builds with Siri and with Alexa. Those are on the roadmap, so people can just yell, "Hey Siri, add this to my Stretch list." We're also even looking at ChatGPT's App Store and potentially being a skill within some of the large language models. People think about recipes, and then after you get the recipe, then you have to turn it into a shopping list. Well, they're turning them into dumb shopping lists, right? The shopping lists are still just buy this item, but it's not attached to inventory. It's not attached to price. It's not going to actually, they're starting to do some delivery integrations, but that's, for the privileged few who do delivery all of the time. Cool, no problem. But for everybody else, the other 90% of people who still go to the grocery store themselves, I think that there's a huge opportunity for us to be that partner for them.